It's everywhere now. I feel like
Totally.
everyone was like, oh, I have permission. Everyone's just looking for permission.
Well, isn't that what everything is? We're just looking for permission to, have our basest desires validated.
Especially you, hedonism bot.
I apologize for nothing.
We want to extract the literal beings of these people. We want to take from them. We want to literally extract their essence. We want something from them and we want to take from them and we want to consume it. This is a potentially insidious thing. Like when you see all of these things now intersect, that's where I think that this is a really dangerous territory. It's slop, right? It's slop, but it's not. Well, speaking of temptation, some strange things happening right now in brand marketing. Want your take on this. Skechers has this ad. There's a style of sort of like AI porn adjacent, what people would call gooner AI style imagery that's just very sexually charged that you would typically find on like X. Like you might find it
Not anymore.
Well, my algorithm is not this way. I've seen other people who are like, all I see on X is porn. And I'm like, dude, stop looking at stuff on X and you'll stop getting your algorithm having bad stuff on it. All I get is like entrepreneurship bro stuff on my, but anyway, so there's a sort of like the Subway ad. The think pieces haven't come yet, but people are taking pictures of this ad that Skechers put out. And it reminds me of a time, what might be characterized as maybe a simpler time, of some very like gonzo looking ads from the 90s where there was a style of an ad where you had a very exaggerated type of a character. They had very large heads and they had very small bodies, and you had sort of this like top down fisheye lens type, photography. It was hyper exaggerated, hyper real, like HDR photography. You know what I'm talking about? Like the 90s and the early aughts. You remember those?
Yeah.
This feels like a AI version of that, but Skechers is definitely leaning into a very specific type of an audience here. But it is, if you were to see the actual picture, it's a woman crouched down, sort of like legs open. It's extremely sexual in nature.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
I have a feeling like, not that this is the first time sex has ever been used in advertising, but AI sexual content.
This might be one of the first ones that I've seen that's like for a major like brand, like
in a brand campaign.
That would go on a Subway.
This is a test because it's not on a major billboard.
It is a test, yeah. Well, I mean, it's already probably got them more attention. This is part of the whole thing. We're post-Sweeneyfication of ads. Everybody's doing their play on Sweeney. This is a totally different vibe than the Sweeney ad, but it's definitely like in the same sexualized category. A lot of outrage going on around it. And for good reason. It's like very insane just how sexualized, overtly sexualized ads have become since that Sweeney ad. It's been so fast.
Yeah.
Like it's everywhere now. Like I feel like
Totally.
Everyone was like, oh, I have permission. Everyone's just looking for permission,
Well, isn't that what everything is, right?
Yeah.
We're just looking for permission to, have our basest desires validated.
But
basically.
I do think there's something about that. Like you've called this before. There's always the sacrificial lamb. So AE stores foot traffic was down 9% post Sweeney ad. There was a backlash against it. But I wonder though, now that there's been permission given, if it's going to just become culturally acceptable to run ads of that nature. Dr. Squatch did it first, even before AE.
That's true. I mean, technically, if you want to rewind a little bit, we have to go back quite a ways. We covered a story. It was a very niche brand at the time, but there was a story on the Senses. So Nymphet alumni, they're very into fragrance at the Nymphet alumni podcast. And when they talked about the original launch of Bella Hadid's fragrance, which was called Orabella, they were talking about the lack of tie to her. Like they didn't feel like it represented her at all. Like it was just a license. Like
Right.
It was just her name on 4 fragrances. And they wanted it to be more connected to her. And the thing that they wanted and they used as a wouldn't it have been nice? A better desirable product was their connection was a product that was from actress and performance artist Bella Newman. And Bella Newman worked with a perfumer on the side, Marissa Zappis, who created a fragrance by using a technique called effleurage. And effleurage extracted the sweat and oils from Bella Newman's skin.
That's right. I remember this.
And created a fragrance out of that by extracting it and then sort of synthesizing it. And then so this particular fragrance was literally Bella Newman. You are going to smell like Bella Newman. And they were saying, wouldn't it have been cool to actually have Orabella be Bella Hadid? You're literally wearing Bella Hadid. And to me, you have to go back. I'm sure that there are prior examples of this, but it has been in the culture for much longer of we want to extract the literal beings of these people. We want to take from them. We want to literally extract their essence.
Yes.
We want something from them and we want to take from them and we want to consume it.
That's because commerce is identity exchange.
Yeah.
They literally want to put on Bella Hadid, put on that identity and make it their own, and a part of who they are. And identify with it.
But hold on, because the gooner thing, I think.
Oh yeah, we can wrap up the gooner thing.
Just to tie up the gooner thing, which by the way, the word gooner is so disgusting.
It is.
On its own.
I mean, I think it's probably an apropos word for what it is.
For sure. Well, the act that it describes is itself its own sort of gross fixation, fascination, and then to have sort of fetishized that into an AI aesthetic, and then to use that in an advertising aesthetic is its own sort of weird thing to now have as it's divorced from its original birthplace. The way that it has come about into the culture. I wrote a piece many years ago, Brian, about how technological innovation, usually comes about through in mass consumption and is sort of trial run by pornography. Mm-hmm. And this would be a modern example of that. The fact that it's completely divorced from its original source is a really good modern example of most people don't understand where the original source material comes from for most things. People will look at this and be like, oh, that's that thing that people do in ads nowadays.
Yeah, no, this is interesting. I think actually here's why that's true. So Marshall McLuhan quote that Andrew McLuhan tweeted recently was, when you do not have a physical body, you do not have a private identity, and you have no relation to natural law, there's an immediate consequence of being on the phone or on the air. And then Andrew put, or online. The reason why I think pornography is such a hotbed for innovation is because you actually strip yourself of your private identity when you put yourself online. When you are captured in an image, when you are placed in a digital context, you remove yourself from actually your right to private identity.
I have not heard anyone say it that way. I think that that's really interesting.
And then it becomes an amalgamation. Actually, so people are like, well, AI porn, who's that hurting? Well, it's actually amalgamation of the human form that's been trained on for all these images and years. And then of course they can extrapolate from it. But you're still stripping humanity of its uniting dignity, united dignity. It's AI porn doesn't hurt one person, it hurts all of us.
As an aside, I also saw a thread this week around the literally no data, the data and the charts are cited, but where is it coming from? Who knows? Talking about sort of probability of gray matter volume in the right caudate nucleus of the brain, and people who tend to consume the amount of pornography consumption in hours a week, and as that goes up,
there's the gray matter
starts to go down, and basically ipso facto, the more porn you consume, the smaller your brain gets over time. Yeah. I think that's is that correlation or causation? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
and how do they even get that data? That's another question I have.
Yeah. Where do you get that data? This is a really fun Excel chart that somebody made. I think that so we talked in the prior area of social media audience capture, right? And we talked about algorithmic steering. There is something happening with this AI one-shotting that people are talking about right now. People are being one-shotted by AI.
Yep.
That's the term that people are using now.
Yeah.
People are enamored. They're
Right.
fascinated. Like, remember the actual word, what fascination means? Like,
Right.
people are fascinated. They're caught in the spell. And I think that pornography works in much the same way.
Mm-hmm.
You get caught in a spell. And that's where I think people are trapped by AI. And I think that there's something really interesting when you see the two come together. I'm really fascinated that it now extends to advertising, and when that aesthetic now moves into brands using that aesthetic with advertising. We went a really long way around to why I think that this is a particularly interesting and potentially insidious thing. Like, when you see all of these things now intersect, that's where I think that this is a really dangerous territory. It's slop, right? It's slop, but it's not. It's also a weird dog whistle. It's like an if you know, you know. And I think that that's kind of scary too. This is more dog whistle than Sydney Sweeney was dog whistle.
100%. To quote Andrew from literally the last hour, the road to hell is paved with good inventions.